2, 3, 4. There's a 1.
How's it going, folks? It's Lobo, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome, finally, to Loki. I am so excited I finally get to watch this. So, if you're not caught up with WandaVision, my reactions to it, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I just recently finished, those are all in the description if you haven't caught up with those. But here we finally are with Loki, and of course, the time on the screen is when you can flip through to catch just my reaction to Loki, because I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a very big beforehand discussion, because I tend to do this with all my shows that I watch, even though it's really only been 3, but still, we're gonna have a discussion beforehand, so let's just roll right into this. But first off, I want to say is that, yes, I have seen some spoilers. Every series I started, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision included, I saw those after they originally aired, so of course I've seen some degree of spoilers, but nothing like too bad, you know. Again, it's dependent on how you see it. So obviously, in terms of Loki, I have seen certain spoilers, but if you're unfamiliar with my channel, or you've just never seen like my little discussions that I like to have, and you don't know as to reason why I'm watching these so late, I'll be honest with you, I kind of had a loss of interest in Marvel, but I apparently, and obviously, I'm not like the only one, because Spider-Man Far From Home came out in 2019. That was in like the summer. I think that was in July of 2019. And then we had a drought, the pandemic happened, and there was like no Marvel content. Black Widow got delayed into oblivion. So obviously, essentially a 2-year gap, my interest dropped, especially coming off of Endgame, the culmination and the end of the Infinity Saga. That was such a conclusion. It's like, okay, time to move on. Obviously, Marvel was not done. I still was going to see every movie, Black Widow included, but everything just got pushed back, which is understandable, but still. So I watched everything afterwards. I'm getting caught up now and getting back in the groove, because I understand what they're going for in Phase 4 and the future of Marvel. It's looking really, really awesome and really cool, so I'm very excited. But like I said, it's just hard to sort of wait all those years when you just finished off with Endgame. Like, literally everything they were teasing for 10 years ended. So I wasn't the only one, but here we are with something new. In terms of Phase 4, they're going for a sort of time travel, multiverse, all that kind of good stuff, and a shit ton of interconnectivity between the films, like we've never seen before. I'm talking like independent films, not Avengers, but still character-oriented movies. They're having a lot of other characters show up, which is awesome. We all love to see that. So very interesting phase for Marvel is coming. So I'm very excited. But now on to Loki. I just wanted to say that because I don't want people to think I'm a fake fan. I've seen the Marvel movies a lot. I've seen all of them in theaters. All the Avengers movies, I went opening night. Infinity War Endgame, somehow I got first showing. That shit, oh dude, that was so awesome. But I digress. Please don't call me a fake fan. It's just hard. I was there for the Infinity Saga, and then things died down. And it was the 2-year wait. But anyway, let's talk about Loki now. I'm very excited for Loki. One other reason I didn't really watch Wanda or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's because I didn't really have a connection with those characters. Obviously, Wanda is very cool. I'm talking beforehand. Before I saw WandaVision, I'm like, yes, Wanda's a very cool character. But she's essentially like a side character. She's a minor character because we have the original 6 Avengers, so obviously in their own films they would shine more than these other characters, and she had no independent movie. So my interest in her and Vision wasn't as great as other characters. And the same thing went for Sam and Bucky. I thought Bucky was cool. I thought Sam was awesome. But again, my interest just wasn't as high for them as it was for other characters. But one thing with Marvel that they can do so well is make any character shine. Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of people didn't even ask for that movie. Some people didn't want it. Like, the Guardians weren't a major comic hit. Yes, they were popular in the comics, but not really big, and they're relatively new. generally speaking. And that was a smash success. Sorry for the quick cut there. My water fell off my desk and spilled everywhere, so I had to clean that up. But as I was saying before that incident, Marvel's characters, they're minor ones, they're whatever ones. You have characters that nobody really asked for, and they can make them shine like crazy. Regardless whether or not you think his work is good or not, Zack Snyder, I think it was Ant-Man, he said, like, why is there an Ant-Man movie? That's who asked for that. And Ant-Man, like, rivaled Man of Steel at the box office. Not at the time, they didn't come out at the same time, but in terms of how much they made, Ant-Man was a smash success. Both of them were. But it just shows you how Marvel can literally take a character that, like, nobody cares for or nobody wanted and make them shine. So when I watched WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was like, damn, my interest for these characters just went up, up, up. But the difference here is now we have Loki, and I was always such a fan of Loki. I think Tom Hiddleston is an amazing actor, and I just love his portrayal of Loki. It's funny, he originally auditioned for Thor. There's a lot of weird times where, like, the friend or the enemy of certain characters were originally auditioning for the role of the hero. It's kind of a funny thing happening. Same thing with Bucky and John Walker. They auditioned for Steve Rogers' role originally, and Loki auditioned for Thor. So it's ironic, it's cool, but I think Loki's such an amazing character. Thor is my favorite MCU character, but he's not my favorite Marvel character. That might seem a little trippy. Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel character, but I'm not overly fond of, no disrespect, of Tom Holland's portrayal. But in the MCU, Thor is my favorite character. And a big part of that is obviously Loki. You can't have Thor without Loki. Though we are going to have Thor and Thor Love and Thunder for the first time without Loki. Yes, Thor has been alone in the Avengers movies, but Thor solo movie has always had Loki. You know, Thor 1, it's just called Thor. Thor the Dark World and Thor Ragnarok. Thor the Dark World, I think, gets a bad rap. It's really good, but it's not as great as the other movies, but it's not bad. I really think it gets a bad rap, but I thought, again, Loki was being Loki in that, faking his own death, ulterior motives, shit like that. That's the essence of Loki. But from my not from my understanding, I know that this is the 2012 version of Loki, because in Avengers Endgame we had the scene where it was Cap, Scott, Tony and Hulk. Jesus, I had like a freeze in my brain right there. When they were both in New York in 2012 and they're all trying to get the Mind Stone, Doctor Strange's stone, and the Tesseract. And Loki escaped with the Tesseract when Hulk went through the doors and shit and sent everybody flying, and then he just grabbed the suitcase and he's like, I'm out with the Tesseract. So I have to remember that. This is a Loki that has not been through what we've seen him. So he hasn't gone through Thor the Dark World or Ragnarok. So he's still... I mean, I have heard reports, obviously, like I said, since there are spoilers, that I will get into, but I'm just saying the stuff first, that he's more like a Thor Ragnarok type of Loki, even though he's from 2012, which is not a problem for me because it's understandable. When you think even about Avengers Endgame and that whole dilemma of time travel, Gamora didn't meet any of the Guardians. I'm talking about 2014 Gamora, the one that's still alive today in the MCU because she was, again, pulled from the past. She was still willing to go against Thanos and try to have a friendship with Nebula, even though the events of Guardians 1 and 2 never happened, but it was still within her character and, like, you could say within her soul. So Loki still has a part of him that's good. So I think, obviously, if he were to know, hey, here's how my future turned out, he would be more akin to 2017 Loki / 2018 when he tried to protect Thor's life and give his life for his brother, which was an amazing scene, a beautiful scene, and a very sad scene. Unfortunately, I have succumbed and cried to every time Loki has died, but so has Thor, so haha. Me and the God of Thunder have shared something in common. But yeah, this one's going to be weird because obviously he's going to apparently, like I said, see his own death. I don't know how it's going to play out, like if they're going to... I think it is they play him like sections or something. Like they show him like a screen, I'd assume, or whatever. I think I saw that in the trailer, actually. That might not even be a spoiler. But yeah, so we'll kind of move on to spoilers. But as I was saying, I really loved Loki's character because he was one of those who was conflicting. He was sort of an anti-hero. He was good, and then he was bad a shit ton. Always, again, faking his death, trying to get the throne of Asgard, betray Thor, but he would still like come around. Even when I think about it, in Thor: The Dark World, apparently there was the deleted scene where like he was like screaming after his mom died, adoptive mother, which was a really powerful scene. I wish they wouldn't have cut it because he was very affected by her death. But he still loves his family, even though he was adopted. It's a real life thing. Just because you're adopted doesn't mean you can't love your parents and your siblings and whatnot. As Yondu says, he might have been your father, but it wasn't your daddy. You know what I mean? But I've always loved Loki's character because he had so much more layers to him than just, hey, I'm a villain or I'm just a sidekick or whatever. So I'm excited he's getting his chance to shine. See, like I said, I really can't talk today because I'm just like, I want to start. But I have to do this little discussion just so I get all my thoughts out and then I can just watch it with a peaceful mind and not talk over everything. But yeah, I look like I'm on crack today. I'm sorry. But as I was saying with Loki, he is this very complex character. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing how he does. Because as I was saying, he's been through a lot, but he's been sort of good because it's hard. He's a frost giant, and he was brought up in the shadow of Thor, even though Thor didn't see it that way. But it's all around, he's just a very interesting and very fun character to use. So, yeah, I'm excited to get started. But we're not going to get started quite yet because, well, you had the chance to. I showed you when you could skip to watch my reaction. But the final thing is, I'm going to say all the spoilers I have seen just so you know. I have seen that apparently there's a drawer of Infinity Stones. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I heard some people complain about that, but it makes sense. If I'm not mistaken, they're called the Time Variance Authority or whatever. I just think of them as like the timekeepers. Apparently it's called like the sacred timeline. All of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, there's this one branch just as the Ancient One said, like a one line of time, and when certain things occur, it can branch out, and those are like the negative or wrong timelines that have to be corrected. So the TVA, I would understand it's their job to correct such incorrections or whatever. So it makes sense that when Loki dipped with the Tesseract, they're like, no, you weren't supposed to do that. You're messing shit up. So they nabbed his ass. And yeah, so that's cool. I saw that. I saw some pictures of variant Lokis, what they're called, variants. I don't know what that means. If that's like I would assume it's not a time thing because obviously if even though Loki's a shapeshifter, he can change into anyone. I just watched Thor: The Dark World the other day too, just to get my memory jogged back. I mean, he transformed Thor into Sif, and then he turned into Captain America. He can do anything, but the difference with this is that they weren't him. They were other beings. So I'm thinking that it's different realities. So I'm like, is Loki have multiverse shit in it? Potentially. Obviously, I knew time travel stuff, but multiverse things in Loki? Is that what's going on? The huge speculation is that obviously No Way Home has the rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in it, which I 100,000% believe. Obviously, Alfred Molina has leaked or just publicly said that I'm returning as Doc Ock. And they use CG to de-age me. So Kevin Feige was a little, I wouldn't say mad, but he's definitely upset that surprise was spoiled. But the fact that they have not released a trailer, and this is literally coming in December, shows that there has to be something planned for the end of Loki to not necessarily tie in with No Way Home, but just be like, yo, something big is happening with the multiverse or whatever. Multiverse was teased in Wanda, teased in Doctor Strange, so things are really culminating into this, hey, into the multiverse. So that's awesome. And I'm trying to think, is there any other spoilers I've seen for Loki? Obviously, from the trailers, we knew Lady Loki is going to be in it. I've seen some pictures of her as spoilers, but no plot, no context. I'm just like, I knew she was a character that's going to appear in here. So that's not really a spoiler because that was, again, something I already knew. Most of the spoilers, technically, I've already could have guessed or known because it's pretty self-explanatory when you think of time or just the universe / multiverse. The best way to describe it is as like a tree, and like the trunk of it is, let's say it's like prime Earth or Earth 1 or whatever, and then where you get the branches of the tree, they all stem from this one reality, which is like I would say that one is like, let's say canon one. That's the canon reality, and then the branches or whatever are just kind of like reflections or different takes on it. So I'm guessing the variants are, again, just stemmed from the branches of, or the tree of Prime MCU. Let's just call it the MCU Prime Earth. For an example, analogy, whatever. I don't know the official wording of what universe the MCU is in. Because DC now is like, Michael Keaton's from, I don't know, Earth 89 or whatever. Robert Pattinson's Earth 2, and then Earth 1. And like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know. DC's kind of in shambles. But we'll talk about that another time, because one other thing I want to say before we begin, because like I said, I'm very excited, but I have to say a few things, is obviously when I've done Loki, I'll have nothing else on my channel. Like, no more content. So, that was a voice crack. There are a few shows I plan on watching, but I'm not going to say until I watch like the pilot and then determine, okay, I'm interested in this show or not, because I don't want to force myself to watch something I'm not really invested or interested in. So I'm going to wait for those. But the movies I am going to watch on my channel that I have not seen, some of them just off the top of my head are DC movies, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Suicide Squad, and then there's going to be more. But for now, those three are going to be coming on my channel. So yeah, things are going to be more weekly rather than like every other couple days. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And we're going to move on to Loki. Like I said, I'm very excited to see how this all unfolds. And I'm just trying to think of final thoughts right now because, again, I've seen a few things, but I think I've listed everything I've seen. I've been pretty good with not seeing any spoilers with the show, but a lot of people said they liked this more than either WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I can totally understand because, again, Loki's an amazing character, and this one is more on the cosmic scale of the MCU. You have time travel, other reality type of shit, so it's very cool and it's very engaging because it's so interesting and unique. So I can definitely imagine that this is liked more than those shows. It might not necessarily be better to one specific person, but again, it might be definitely more appealing because visually it's going to be awesome looking, as I've seen from the trailer. So yeah, I am very excited for this, and I hope you guys are too. I have said a mouthful, and if you have stuck with me throughout this endeavor, I salute you, even though this was not necessary. And I don't even know what the hell I said for the past, 20 minutes. So yeah, we're just going to go with this, man. I am so excited. It is finally here. Let's go. Oh, one other thing. I got to put this on green. Sorry, I'm doing this behind my back. There we go, because Loki's green. I don't really have a Loki shirt, so I'm like, I need to get something that's a little cuckoo / cosmic, or you know what I mean? Kind of trippy, psychedelic. Because Loki is sort of trippy. I mean, it's time travel and other reality shit. So I got this shirt. It's a kitten riding a shark with a beach ball in space. Well, actually, no, it's not space. There's a rainbow. So, yeah. That works, I guess. That's all I wanted to say. So, yeah, let's go. We're about to start, but now I didn't ask any questions in my little beforehand discussion, if you're just catching them now. But, how is this going to end? Is he just going to be a prisoner until he dies? Technically, he's an Asgardian, so he's going to just, live for thousands of years? Or is he going to become an immortal, receptionist for the TVA. Like, how is this gonna end? That's a pretty good question. Because obviously the show's not concluded yet, so how's this gonna end? Like, is technically Gamora is also messed up because her, as I said earlier, her 2014 version is in the present day, and Nebula shot her past self, and Thanos' past self died. And obviously there's the shit with Steve staying in the past, bro. I hope this is explained. Because, yeah, there's a lot of, what is it called? Informalities? Sure, that's a word. There's a lot of informalities with the timeline, so I don't know how the TVA is going to address that issue. But, yeah, there's 3 big issues going on in the main MCU, so let's see how this all works out. 2012. Yep. That's so cool. These were the angles you saw in Avengers Endgame. It's when Scott's in his thing. Yep. And now Hulk's gonna bust through those doors.
Slice.
I love how they literally are picking up at Avengers Endgame. It's good for the people that don't remember how it quite played out. But this is already so cool, man. I've waited so long to watch the series. I know I watched WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier late, but I always planned on watching this when it aired. But obviously, since I started reacting to the shows, I had to delay it a couple weeks. But now I get to binge watch 5 episodes, essentially. So, hell yeah. Damn, they got the outfit and the shorter hair. He really does look like his 2012 version.
I am Loki of Asgard.
That is so 2012 Loki.
Burdened with glorious purpose.
Yep, there they are. It's literally he was doing his speech when he goes, kneel.
Crimes against the sacred timeline.
Oh shit!
You're coming with us. Last chance, variant.
They just call him variant. I was gonna say, did they like stop time with him?
Reset the timeline.
I wonder how that works. Time travel is so difficult to like get a grasp of. So all this scene never happened then, technically. Whoa, shit. I thought I was gonna zap him like the Thor Ragnarok things. This is kind of giving me like a Fallout vibe.
Hey. Now, hang on just a minute.
What the hell? I love how mysterious and trippy this is.
This is absurd.
Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
What? Are robots like against time travel? What do they have against robots? It's like Terminator type of shit.
What's that?
Your temporal aura.
What's that?
Please through the door.
I mean, he's of Jotunheim. Technically. Originally. I recognize that voice, but I have no idea where it's from.
So let's not waste another minute. Bringing peace by reorganizing the multiverse into a single timeline. The sacred
shit.
timeline. Off into madness, leading to another
Literally what
multiversal war.
Literally what the Ancient One was saying. First episode, they're already mentioning the multiverse a shit ton. This is awesome. This little... This little presentation is fantastic.
Timekeepers.
Buckethead?
Oh, that got dark. Okay.
Visiting the TV.
It's like a first second now.
Let us know how we're doing.
Oh my god, dude. I love the vibe this show has. This music. Oh, dude. I love it. It's like that Twilight Zone trippy time travel. 80s sort of techno vibe and all in one. Holy shit, dude. I love the vibe. I can't stress that enough. Aix-en-Provence, France. 1549. I bet the TVA speak every language on Earth. I was right. Devil? Everyone thought Mephisto was going to be in WandaVision, but that didn't happen. And I heard the director or writer of Loki said no, the Mephisto demon sort of stained glass is purely coincidental.
The branch is nearing red line. We need to go.
Okay.
And that's before it escalates too much when it gets out of the red. So that kid had candy.
Okay.
Laufeyson, variant L1130.
They did call him Laufeyson. I thought I saw that on his file.
Madam, a god doesn't plead. Look, this has been a very enjoyable pantomime.
Who should we have?
I suspect the Avengers. You see, I only came into possession of the Tesseract because they traveled through time. You can smell the cologne of two Tony Starks. You speak of time.
I do see the Stan Lee Easter egg. That's awesome.
About the Avengers.
Oh, no?
No. What they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Doctor Strange.
Dictating the proper flow of time.
I see. Right, and then what do you do?
Oh, you trying to do some magic? Doesn't work with that collar.
Hang on. Everyone quiet.
Guilty, and I sentence you to be reset. Next case, please.
Reset.
So they
What does
just...
that mean? What is that? Is it bad? What does it mean?
So they don't die, they get reset?
My story ends!
It's not your story, Mr. Laufeyson. It never was.
This guy's name is Mobius? Look how cool this shit is. That looks incredible. Also, funny fact, I called the TVA the Timekeepers as like an analogy, but I guess I got their boss's name right. Or maybe I just knew that because I know random comic facts. That looks so cool. I knew this shit was gonna look visually incredible. Holy shit, man. There's like so much to observe. Are they gonna use him as like a an asset to get that demon or whatever that the kid said?
Hey, you know, time passes differently here in the TVA. What does that mean?
Here on Sakaar. It's also funny because Loki thinks the Avengers were trying to undo him. He has no idea about Thanos. Are they gonna show him what would have been his future?
Dangerous variants. You're just a little pussycat. I got a set of questions for you. You answer.
Living thing.
He's on that freaking speech again.
An uncertainty.
He literally did this in the first Avengers.
I am smart. I know. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Is he gonna play it? Yep, there's New York. Oh my god, dude, this shit's gonna be crazy.
To literally avenge him by defeating you?
Little solace to a dead man.
Do you enjoy hurting people?
Dude, wait till he sees his mom, bro.
Look at that smile. You are enjoying that. Did you enjoy hurting them?
I don't have to play this game. I'm a god.
Telling you the Frigga scene is gonna be...
Talk about your escapes.
When the hell was this? Damn, damn Loki.
Brother, Heimdall, you better be ready.
What? Was this in the past? Because that Andrew Jackson $20 bill looked a little older. And then the Bifrost summons him. Because obviously Thor and Loki visited Midgard early.
I was young and I lost a bet to Thor. Where was the TVA when I was meddling with these affairs?
Yeah, this was the past. Holy shit. Every fan has literally asked that same question.
What makes Loki tick?
I'm mad.
Scramble for power.
Precisely. A detour. A footnote to my ascent.
And gotta show him his future. Thor: The Dark World.
Please don't make this worse.
What is this? This is nonsense. More tricks. It's never even
Your
happened.
future.
Not to you. Not yet.
Always so receptive.
I'm gonna take the stairs to the left.
But instead, you send them.
I'll never tell.
Damn, bro. This is crazy, man.
I don't believe
Do you enjoy killing?
I'll kill you.
What, like you did your mother?
Damn, bro. Are they gonna show up more footage? This scene is so cool. You're not gonna show him his death?
Don't go anywhere.
They're really not gonna show him his death? Or is he gonna search it on his own? He really is the god of mischief.
Hey, I know you. You're that criminal with the blue box.
Give me the Tesseract or I'll gut you like a fish, Casey.
What's a fish?
Really just gave him the Tesseract?
Infinity Stones?
That's the spoiler I saw.
Yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights. Some of them.
What? He's starting to realize it's not an illusion. The most powerful things in the universe that thousands of beings have fought and died for, literally used as paperweights. God damn, dude.
Is this the greatest power in the universe?
Apparently so. Please watch more footage.
I love you, my sons. Remember this place. Home.
Loki, I thought the world of you. I thought we were going to fight side by side forever. Maybe not. Thank you. If you're here, I'd not even give you a hug.
Thanos. Oh my god, dude. The look on his face. That's quite the turn, because then it just panned to Thanos. That must be crazy to see your future just play out in front of you. Especially one as tragic as Loki's. Dude, that's crazy. His death, end of the file. He's in like hysteria. He does not believe it. Oh! Now he can use his powers, right? The collar's off. It's kind of like when they put it on Deadpool. What the hell?
You tried to use that?
Oh, several times. Even an Infinity Stone is useless here.
I mean, they were in a drawer, so...
Why me?
The variant we're hunting is... you.
I beg your pardon?
Salina, Oklahoma. 1858. It's not the Lady Loki variant, right? I think she has like an actual name, but obviously I didn't look at it because of spoilers, but No, I don't think it would be her. So what other variant could it be of him?
Oil. Think some jackass found himself a time machine, came back here to get rich.
Should we find out?
What a play. Holy shit. I think this is the Lady Loki. Or maybe not. Jesus Christ, dude. And it's over? What? Oh my god, dude. Is there an end credit scene? Okay, no end credit scene. Alright, well, Jesus, man. I said most of my thoughts before the episode even aired. And, like, watching it, it was not a lot of plot. Because it was just kind of, like, running in circles. But it was still, like, a lot. Even though it's really not. It's hard to explain. It's time travel. Time travel is always weird as shit. So, damn, dude. I really like this. I knew it would have this sort of mysterious aura vibe with, you know what I mean, like a Twilight Zone type of 80s feel and shit, because time travel is always so trippy in a sense, but especially when you put it in the terms of Marvel and the TVA timekeepers. Apparently Infinity Stones and magic are ineffective there, like, goddamn. Okay, that's awesome. And just watching that was very fun. It was cool to see because, as I said earlier, a lot of people said, or from, again, what I said as like an outsider peering into accidental spoilers, some people were saying Loki is more akin to 2017 Loki. And earlier I said, obviously, if you saw his future, it would bring out more of who he is in the sense of like 2014 Gamora brought the present day and helping defeat Thanos, because it was always in her to be sort of good, even though she was doing things for Thanos. Same thing with Loki. Even though Loki is a bit more complicated and can be more negative at times, it's still sort of within him to do what's right. Ultimately, he did what was right, trying to kill Thanos, but again, protect Thor. But this episode, he definitely acted like how you would expect 2012 version of Loki to act. His little speech about life's great lie and shit, and it's an illusion, freedom is a lie, stuff like that. I'm like, yes, that's Loki. When he did his little, again, his speech in Germany, when he was like, Neil, and then the old guy stood up and was like, not to men like you or whatever, and then he's like, there are no men like me, there will always be men like you, and then Cap pulled up and he's like, the last time I was in Germany, you know, that I just I just remember that. But that was so cool to see him watch his future. Tom Hiddleston did a great job with that. And again, with his hair and stuff, he really hasn't like aged a day at all. He still looks like 2012 Loki. Again, they redid the hair, so it's, like I said, it looks like 2012 Loki, which is awesome for that consistency. And yeah, they did. They showed all the scenes. I was really looking forward to them showing like the Thor scenes and stuff. Especially since I just rewatched Thor Ragnarok. I've seen all the Thor movies a shit ton, so I didn't really need to rewatch them to remember how Loki was. But I just rewatched Thor Ragnarok because that was like the most recent. Technically, it was right before Infinity War, so I rewatched that just for the sake of it. And I love that they incorporated the elevator scene when Loki was like, hey, I'm going to stay on Sakaar. And then Thor was like, I think that's a great idea. And he's like, wow, did we just agree? And then Thor was like, you know, I thought the world of you and you just like keep letting me down essentially. And I'm like, that was such a great scene between them and stuff. So I like that Loki saw that to see, since this is the first Avengers version of Loki, that yes, my brother really does care about me and stuff. That was a very awesome thing. And especially when you consider, like, what if this was like a real thing? What if you could see your future and it had like the degree of emotional impact that Loki did, like a parent's death, your own death and stuff. That's like a crazy concept to even comprehend. But yeah, I really like this show, but we have to see more because now I didn't expect this, because honestly I was wondering, how are they going to make a bunch of episodes with it? Because he gets in there, and I was thinking, okay, he's gonna be a prisoner. Is he just gonna chill there? But no, they kill the variants. It's not like when they said reset them, I thought they just like return them and then they just like wipe their memory or something. No, you just killed them from the timeline. Like, oh, okay, shit. But I was like, either that or he's gonna be a prisoner. So like, how could you have any plot if in the first episode he sees his future and then he's a prisoner? So apparently another variant of his is out and doing bad across all timelines. So I guess I'm wondering, is variance a multiverse thing? Because obviously they explained it as the multiverse was a bunch of timelines and shit, and then the timekeepers made a one singular sacred timeline. But are the variants from other multiverse timelines? Because obviously Lady Loki, I know Loki can shapeshift, but from that standpoint, I'm thinking, because obviously I'll get more, because I said earlier, I saw spoilers, so I know Lady Loki's in this. We saw it in the trailer. But if she's like a variant, wouldn't she be from the multiverse? Because I know Loki can shapeshift into anyone, but his base appearance is that, and her base appearance is how she looks. So that's just what I'm confused about. I think I saw one other picture. I don't know if it was fake or not. There was only one other variant picture I saw. And it was like a crocodile with Loki's crown on it. And apparently that's a variant. Like, what? So it's hard to put in terms of Loki because he can literally take any shape or size or whatever. I don't think he can be like inanimate objects, but as long as it's like an organism technically, he can turn into it. So is it really like a multiverse timeline thing, or is it just him shapeshifted into something else from a different time? I have no idea. But we'll find out. But they did mention the multiverse a lot, so I'm just going to say it is a multiverse thing. But I'm already kind of confused because now it's like, time is very confusing. The way Hulk described it, Professor Hulk described it, then you're like, you know what I mean? It's just, it gets so trippy, but now these variants are really confusing me. I'm not like really confused, but again, it's still a little confusing because as I was saying, like, it's either a multiverse version or it's just a different timeline choosing to take another appearance, or it's literally just a multiverse timeline. Because then when they showed it on the thing, you have the sacred timeline and then I guess the red bars, and if they surpass the red bars, that's like a huge red flag, no pun intended. So like, what does that entail? I'm sure it's going to be answered, but just from the basis of me watching this one episode, I just have that real big question. So I really wonder how this is all going to play out. And how's it going to end too? Like, obviously he's going to have to like die. Or maybe he could just become a member of the TVA. Because, as he said, I can't just return to my timeline. He can't. Too bad they didn't have like a Men in Black technology and just erase their memory. I mean, they can just play with Infinity Stones and reset time, so why can't they reset a memory? But whatever. I'm getting the hiccups. I really enjoyed this episode. I don't know when, well, obviously you're going to see it at the day it's up, so I wouldn't have to say I don't know when this is going to be up, but I'm not going to be able to watch episode 2 for a couple days because as I'm watching this now and saying this now, I haven't even finished editing the series finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is, again, not even up on my channel yet, so I just couldn't wait to start this, so it's definitely going to be a couple days before I can watch the next one, but I'm going to be able to watch the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one, like, all pretty fast. Like, not wait a week and just jump one to the other. So that's going to be very exciting. I'm very looking forward to that a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next one. I hope you are, too. And as I said, hope you enjoyed. And until then, I'll catch you folks in the next video.